All right, welcome back to the Adventure Within channel. My name is Andrew Fritz. I'm a clairvoyant healer and meditation teacher. And in today's video, I'd like to talk about the death and rebirth process. It's a challenging process. But it's, I think if you allow yourself to go through it, you know, it may feel not that great initially and maybe through the process, but it perhaps will feel and look a lot different on the other side, kind of when you're quote unquote reborn. So what is death? Death is it's just a letting go. And, you know, we don't actually ever die because we're spirit, and spirit always was, is, and will be. But so then you kind of go, oh, if I'm experiencing a death, and if I'm spirit and spirit doesn't die, then, oh, well then what is this thing that I'm experiencing that feels like it makes me feel like I'm dying? And perhaps it is the attachment to an energy or multiple energies or an image or a set of images, right? And perhaps something is causing that to kind of get stirred up and for it to kind of collapse, to fall apart. And that's scary because if we're so attached to that, we're so used to that, and that's falling apart, that can be kind of terrifying. Oh no, you know, if especially if we're talking about on an identity level, you know, you're attached to, and it could be anything, right? We can kind of identify with many different things, different energies, different pictures, and suddenly that's all falling apart. And okay, that's what's causing this feeling of, oh, I feel like I'm dying. And this feels rather unpleasant and can even cause this sense of grief, like great loss, that you're losing something. But it's a great opportunity, because what if what is dying, what you're shedding, what you're letting go, even though if it initially feels, whoa, I don't even want to, you perceive it as terrible, as wrong, or, you know, I don't want this, I want to pump the brakes, I don't want this at all. But what if actually this is kind of a blessing in disguise? What if this is a positive thing? Because what if what you were attached to is, what if it's not actually your energy? What if it's not your image, whatever that image might be? What if it's not your truth? So then if it's not your energy, it's not your image, it's not your truth, that's been holding you back. It's really a limit at that point. And so then there's this great opportunity to, instead of backtracking and try to cling and hold on to this, just let it come undone, let it fall apart. And okay, then what's on the other side? What is this rebirth all about? And that, okay, you know, this rebirth, you can actually step more into your energy, your truth, your power. And yeah, your identity space might start to shift, but it might move in a direction that's more authentic and will feel better. It's just initially when you're going through that process, wow, it feels like you're dying. It feels like everything's falling apart, like the rug has been pulled out from underneath you and there's no hope, and it's just a mess and totally bad. And, you know, sometimes you have to go through those situations if you want to have more, or, you know, embrace something that's more true to you. And yeah, that's a tricky dance, and that's, it's not always fun. It's not always easy. You know, and I've been through many growth periods and changes and transitions, in my life, and I'm in one right now. But I always value growth. I always value changing and always moving towards what is true to me. Even if that means that, oh no, the house of cards is coming down, and, you know, yes, even to myself it feels terrible, and I'm sure to people around me and all that, it seems, oh no, this is not good. This is not good at all. But that's the beauty of being psychic, is that I can kind of look, you know, and see what is actually really happening here. Sure, it can feel kind of challenging and uncomfortable, but what's the truth of this all? What is actually happening? And oh yeah, okay, there's a dying and there's a rebirth process, and as a clairvoyant, as a psychic, I can really see what the dying process is all about, what this kind of in-between process is, and then finally the rebirth and what changes and what I get to have, and kind of see the energy of that. And that makes it all the worthwhile. That makes it easier to go, okay, even though if something is uncomfortable or unpleasant at the moment, I know where I'm headed, I know where I'm going. And so this is why I really value being able to meditate and being able to kind of take a look into this for myself, or even having people that I know that I can trust that are clairvoyants or psychics that can provide some insight that maybe I'm not even seeing or aware of, and so that I don't just kind of try to backtrack or I'm not understanding the journey that I'm on. And because there's if something starts falling apart, it's sometimes it's nice to actually embrace that, to just let it go, stop holding on and clinging for your life, that there's something on the other side. And if you don't have your abilities turned on, that can be really scary. It takes a lot of courage and just kind of trusting. And that's how a lot of people just kind of get through it. And sometimes they're just kind of thrusted into that, and they just have to kind of go with that. But it really helps, when you do actually have your abilities turned on, you can really explore and see what's truly happening, underneath all of what kind of you're feeling and kind of what you're initially noticing, or that's maybe really loud, and you get to kind of see what's beyond all that. And that's I find that's really helpful. And that's why I love meditation, and that's why I love working with my different soul abilities.